Hello and welcome. I'm Charles Aite. Without the implementation of the electronic transaction levy, or e-levy as we know it, to shore up revenue and improve the fiscal economy, the country's international bonds will continue to attract high interest rates, which will consequently trigger increased interest payments and devastating effects on the economy. Well, that's the view of an economist and senior lecturer at the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, Dr. Edusa Akodia. He is therefore urging all and sundry to support the government to implement this particular bill in order to raise enough revenue to improve the fiscal economy. Take a listen to him.
The arguments are just emotional. They are sentiments. Most of them are just playing to the gallery. Let us have intellectual discourse over this e-levy transaction. I support it. If you are talking about the fact that government should be prudent in its management, I agree. Not only respect to the mobile money, but respect to any other revenue that has been raised in the economy. Prudent management of the economy is an important ingredient. We cannot go beyond that. What are the other sources of raising revenue? If I look at all the other sources of raising revenue, none of them can happen within this short time, like in 3 to 6 months. None of them. I can see property rates giving us 7 billion in like 1 year. I cannot see tax exemptions, which I am not saying that I am against all these sources of revenue. I am in support of the other sources of revenue. But the point I'm making is that in the immediate term, this other source of revenue will not give us the revenue that government is looking for. It will take time. I can't see tax exemptions, property rate, the natural resources giving us 7 billion over in the next 1 year. All this will take time. If government doesn't take the e-levy, what are the consequences? The consequences are that, based on the Fitch and Bloomberg ratings, government will be denied access to the international capital market. The option is that government will have to come domestically and borrow here at a high rate and crowd out the private sector who need the funds for industrial revolution, for industrial growth. The second option is for government to seek bilateral, multilateral, or syndicated loans. And as of now, many countries are also in difficulties, so I don't see that option viable. The next option, which many people don't want to talk about, is the IMF program. And we all know that borrowing from IMF is different from seeking an IMF program.
Well, meanwhile, ratings agency Fitch has stated that the 1.75% e-levy will boost Ghana's revenue and drive an increase in government revenue by 20% of the total size of the Ghanaian economy. You're still watching the marketplace with me, Charles Aite. Dutch investors are in Ghana for a 5.17 million euro bamboo toilet paper factory. We need to get the figure right. Under the One District, One Factory initiative, the Netherlands-based eco-friendly paper roll manufacturer Goodrow Netherlands BV has chosen Ghana as its major expansion hub to the African continent under this particular project. We have more in this report. Here at Ekomufi Akosombo in the Sujaman district in the eastern region, construction works are almost complete for a 5.17 million euro bamboo toilet paper factory. This initiative is by Netherlands investors under the guidance of government One District, One Factory initiative.
This factory is using 100% bamboo grown in Ghana to create to produce about 120 toilet paper rolls, in 120,000 rolls in a day, employ about 200 direct people. It's going to be very eco-friendly. They're working with Fair Trade and Farmer Line to ensure that farmers are given the necessary social and economic protection that they deserve, and also that fair practices are adhered to in terms of the operations of the factory, all the way from sourcing the raw material. of course, the economic activity that this generates is phenomenal. And for me, it is a testament to what the One District Factory stands for, that we are able to help local industry to take advantage of raw materials that are readily available here in Ghana.
With a production capacity of 150,000 bamboo toilet rolls a day, Goodroll Factory Ghana is set to eye Ghana and the West African market under the Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Our brand is to make a lot of impact. As we know, Ghana has a lot of resources, and I think we should make more use of them. And that's why we started making toilet paper from bamboo. And apart from that, making a lot of other impact is by giving up with 50% of the profits. We build a lot of toilets in Ghana as well, because we want to change the whole sanitation world and thought in Ghana, and we want to teach and educate the youth about how to better themselves and be more hygienic. So that's a backstory about the Goodroll, and we are trying to change things in Ghana. And apart from the cocoa and the gold business, we want to put ourselves on the map to show ourselves that Ghana also can provide toilet paper. We'll start with about 70 employees from the village. There's a village behind this place in Akosombo. So our idea is actually to transform the whole village to the Goodroll village, because we first of all want to give everybody from the village a chance to get employed.
The Goodroll Netherlands, the biggest shareholder of the Goodroll Africa, is a scale-up business founded in 2017 and located in Wisp. The Goodroll factory is a venture that produces and supplies recycled toilet paper. In line with local content, the company has contracted local contractor Joy C. Prot Limited for construction works of its factory. The One District One Factory initiative is not just providing factories across the country, but also attracting investors around the world, as they also pinpoint the Continental Free Trade Agreement area as a case in point for their investment fortunes. I'm Charles Ayucha reporting for Joy Business. Well, Ghana and the rest of the world will mark this week for data protection and privacy. Now, the celebration is aimed at raising awareness about the importance of respecting privacy, safeguarding data, and enabling trust. In Ghana, the recognition of the right to privacy with respect to the processing of personal data or information led to the passage of Act 843 to further guarantee the right to privacy enshrined and that Article 18, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution. Well, it's based on this, of course, that we have the 8 basic principles of data protection. We're talking of accountability, lawfulness of processing, specification of purpose, compatibility of further processing with purpose of collection, quality of information, openness, data security safeguards, and data subject participation. Well, to discuss Data Protection Week, assessing transparency and access in a digital age, the Executive Director of the Data Protection Agency, Patricia Eduse-Poku, as well as the CEO of Information Governance Solutions, Sylvia Appiah. We're grateful, ladies, that you could join us. Let me start with you, Patricia. I'm curious to know how challenging it has been delivering on all 8 principles of data protection under Act 843. How has it been under your leadership? Well, I'm afraid we'll try and fix the line with Patricia. But in the meantime, Sylvia, we do know that, your outfit is much more detailed when it comes to guiding companies, both private and public, along the lines of regulations that, frame the scope of which we operate under data protection. How has the journey been so far for you?
Thank you very much. I'd like to say happy World Data Protection Week to all listeners. But it has been challenging, but worth the journey so far, purely because of the low level of awareness. But I am pleased to say, in conjunction with the Commission, with their efforts, we are beginning to take strides in terms of getting companies to sit up, take responsibility, and do what is right to bring in transparency and trust in processing employees or citizens' data. So we at IGS, what we have been doing is training practitioners. So what do you mean by training practitioners? data protection as a career globally has a shortage of skills. And therefore, it is no news that Ghana, we don't have enough practitioners to get on the journey of assisting organizations and citizens on a compliance journey. This is where IGS come in. So we work with the organizations who are known as data controllers or processors and equip them, support them, hold their hand, advise them, nurture them into the road of compliance under Act 843.
Well, let's now talk about access to data in the digital space, so because I know that thankfully we do have, so many women driving the cause of data protection in our country, but it begs the question about the participation of, women in this particular regime. How has the framework been so far? Are there improvements?
Well, I mean, on a global level, a lot of high-level roles are predominantly men, and I hope we are changing the ecosystem, and a lot of women are in the field. Actually, there is Association of Privacy Practitioners or Professionals internationally did a survey, and it was quite close in terms of 45-55 men to men. So this is not a role that is predominantly women. And it begs me to say also that cybersecurity has a role to play in this. And it is a growing area. I, for one, am a cybersecurity expert as well. So it's not been challenging. It's the same journey we are trying, or the same battle we are trying to fight in terms of equality. But a lot of our women, because of our passionate level, we are very passionate about protecting people's privacy. That is why maybe you might see women taking lead on this. But it's open to both areas. It's very interesting for both gender species, if you like.
Well, indeed, Sylvia, hold on your thoughts there for us, because we do have Patricia join us, the Executive Director of the Data Protection Agency. Patricia, we're grateful that you could join us on this program. I'm quite curious to know how challenging it has been delivering on all 8 principles of data protection under Act 843 of the Constitution.
As with any new, thank you for your patience waiting for me.
Great.
And I apologize for the delay in joining. But as with any new legislation, such as that of the Data Protection Act, it comes with challenges, teething problems, setting it up, because you have to actually establish an institution that would deliver the mandate. All of that took time, and also the fact that it's new to people, and it's cross-cutting across all sectors. So it's not a sector-specific legislation that people with the subject matter expertise would immediately understand. It's new, it's cross-cutting, it's impacting all walks of life. Everyone in the nation has a need to know. Every professional has a need to operate and to deliver an aspect of it. And so it's a lot happening at the same time. That in itself is a kind of challenge that we have to address. Plus, the fact that setting up the institution itself needs skilled personnel to be able to deliver the requirements of building the capacity, especially of institutions and those who have a decision to make, or those who have the legal obligation to deliver. All of that together makes it always a challenging subject to deliver. Not just in Africa, where it's totally new, but even abroad, even in the global north, it's challenging.
Indeed it is. But, as we celebrate Data Protection Week, Patricia, what remain the threats to data protection in Ghana, and how is your outfit actually dealing with it practically?
So the biggest threat is that there's a fast, the pace of technological advancement is very fast compared to the pace at which this legislation is being delivered. There are several factors in play. We need the highest executive buy-in. We need endorsement. We need proper leadership. We need the public level, asserting themselves in this act.
Great.
Enough to challenge the status quo, or to challenge institutions to deliver their reasonable expectation. And you would ask, do people even know what their reasonable expectation is? all of that is a burden on the shoulders of the Commission to deliver, and we need a lot of buy-in from like the cross-sector leadership and the public policy level. We need at the highest level of the nation backing the Commission to deliver its mandate. On our own, it is too much to shoulder on our own.
And I think that's where Sylvia comes on board. You know, Sylvia, before we get back to Patricia about the Protection Week, Data Protection Week, and what we should expect, Sylvia, we do know that under your purview, you know, there's so many security threats, cyber security threats, stricter data protection regulations. In fact, it is quite critical for businesses to ensure they process personal data transparently, you know, be accountable and have adequate security measures to safeguard personally identifiable information. So how does the information governance solution come into this phrase, Sylvia?
Thank you. I think Madam Patricia hinted on it a bit about capacity building. And where we come in is we are an accredited institution by the Commission, and therefore our mandate or our role is to build the capacity in terms of the skills to be able to move data protection to a level where we can begin to say we are actually addressing the shortfall or addressing the need. We also train employees of organizations. So when we train these practitioners, we encourage them, or we make them ambassadors of data protection, so they can go out there, speak to their family, at the personal level, speak to their colleagues. And just like Madam Patricia said, one of the biggest challenge for assisting organizations to really implement a robust compliance framework, it's buy-in from the top. The decision makers, the policy makers at the top or in organizations need to understand their obligations and responsibility so that they can endorse any framework or program of activities that a practitioner in an organization can bring in. And that is where we come.
All right. Sylvia Apia, we're grateful that you could join us, CEO of Info Governance Solutions. Let's end with Madam Patricia, Executive Director of the Data Protection Agency. Walk us through the highlights of programs the Data Protection Agency will be rolling out this week, especially when we're having the Data Protection Week commemorated.
Okay, the main highlight is that we are on Wednesday and Thursday going to be at the ACCRA Digital Center, where we are inviting data controllers, existing data controllers and new ones to come and engage with the Commission to learn about why there's a need to register, and when they register, then what are we doing, what's in it for them, why should they make decisions, accountable decisions. And this is really an engagement to open up the Commission to data controllers to interact with us, tell us what they feel that they expect of us, their challenges, and what the roadmap to compliance and our expectation. Great. It's in our effort to interact and to work with them and to ensure that we understand things from their perspective as well, and to deliver a mandate in a way that works in a win-win situation.
Great. We are grateful, Patricia.
And then on Friday, there's the Climax program on the premises of the Commission in East Legon for Paul Street, where the Honorable Minister of Communication will give a keynote address for the nation. And we're looking forward to that. Madam Patricia Dusepoku, we're grateful that you could join us. So you're still watching The Marketplace. We're going for a short break. We'll be right back. Just stay with us. Now, until the introduction of technology, traditional products like clay pots, chewing sponges, and the likes were common in our market and various homes. But the situation is different today. Joy Business has been out there to find out if these products are still on the market and whether they are being patronized. Take a look.
Were the most sought after products from way back. Yomo for beautifying the hair, Azuma blows for its durability, just to mention a few. But what is the situation with these products on the markets now? Auntie Moda has sold locally made soap known as Azuma Blows, or better still, Don't Touch Me, for the past 10 years. She tells me that even though the introduction of other soap products posed a threat to the Azuma Blows soap, it is still well patronized.
But later now
it used to be a very popular soap until new products were introduced to the market. But this time, sales is not bad at all due to the expensive nature of the small soap. It leaves clothes very clean. When it's used for washing, bar operators also buy it more.
Edisi normal into samna yeto fine. Ya 1 cedi and ya 2 cedis.
Do you remember the famous Elevel fish? Well, Auntie Kai still had some in stock when we visited her stand.
I'm here, I'm smoke kuba me babiosh. Waya wo ye Kaswa market. Alo Agbogbonshi market.
Customers purchase it a lot. We normally get supply from Kaswa or Agbogbonshi. It comes at a particular season and goes off the market until after 2 to 3 years. It is normally used to prepare groundnut soup or ambishi.
Iba sani beko. Aka feel no fa no kete onu kan peshi. Oba kpo he skin oba je he. Ko je he skin na aka sha siriva he.
Even though the use of blender has dominated in many homes, earthenware bowl business seems to be doing well. The aluminium earthenware bowl is more expensive than the clay. It lasts longer, and people mostly buy and export it outside the country because of its lightweight and durability. It is still very popular in the market.
I work outside. When I can
During our interview, we met Pa Willie. He's been making clay ovens for the past 20 years. He couldn't help but to share with us how the latest trend of gas ovens has crippled his business.
I came to Malamata Market because a woman called me to build a clay oven for her. She was asking me why my business has gone down, and I told her it's because people have adopted a new way of baking bread with gas ovens. It has really crippled my business. I am advising that we go back to our traditional way of baking bread, which is healthier.
For the Queen Mother of Malamata Market, Asafwanye Obedei II, she blamed the media for making our local product unpopular. It's a blessing to eat in an earthenware bowl because of its sand component. But now people prefer to use blenders.